What's up, everyone? It's Benedict here, aka BHL. Welcome back to BHL 2. And today we're going to be talking about Smiling Friends, one of my favorite shows that's on at the moment. The third season just wrapped up. I feel like I've been accused lately by both viewers and friends of mine of being a little bit down in the dumps when it comes to entertainment. I feel like I call a lot of stuff mid or bad. I've been accused of nitpicking certain things. So today I thought it'd be fun to talk about something I really enjoy. One of my favorite things that's going on in the entertainment world right now. Smiling Friends, if you don't know, it's a animated show from Adult Swim. It's hard to describe if you haven't seen it. It's very irreverent and funny. Yeah, probably just watch the show if you don't know what it is. It's like 10-minute episodes as well. It's super easy to get through. But yeah, I thought I'd talk about from my least favorite to my favorite all the episodes of Smiling Friends. I think there's been about 30 or something. Let's jump into it. Actually, before we jump into it, I do just want to disclaim at the front. Honestly, there's not an episode of the show that I have not enjoyed. Even my least favorite episode, I still liked watching. Especially, I think because of the nature of it, 10-minute episodes, there's so much going on. It's such an absurd show with the humor. It's kind of hard to have just a full miss episode, and so far they haven't. So, yeah, even the lower end of this, I still enjoy these episodes. But let's get into it. Starting off, number 25. My least favorite episode is actually the first episode of season 3, Silly Samuel. Now I realize this episode has had a lot of meme potential. There was, especially with the inspector thing, which was fun. You know, that's always good. And the inspector turning to dust at the end, that was quite a funny gag. I did like that. But yeah, it just didn't make me laugh as much as other episodes, I suppose. It might have also been going into season 3. It was the first episode, in a while. The expectations are very high, and capturing that exact sense of humor, that exact magic that the show has had, maybe that's kind of hard to do right out the gate. You gotta warm up to it a little bit. But yeah, it just didn't make me laugh as much. I felt like the Silly Samuel, gag itself, it was kind of funny, but it didn't, I don't know, didn't go as hard as maybe I was hoping it would. Still a pretty funny episode. I feel like it didn't tie together as well as some other episodes do. But again, maybe I should rewatch it. Maybe that was also just expectations going in. That's probably my least favorite, I'd say. Number 24, I'm going to go with The Magical Red Jewel, aka Tyler Gets Fired, from season 2. Again, a pretty fun episode. The dust bit at the end, that's quite funny. And I think the side plot with Charlie and Alan is decently funny. I just think, again, you're kind of splitting hairs here to find favorite and least favorite episodes in a show where I like all the episodes. And just on a personal note, just the Spamtopia aesthetic they go to. Yeah, again, hard to describe this insane nightmare world. And it's just, yeah, it's just one I don't really rewatch that much because I know it's meant to be kind of overstimulating and overwhelming, but it's just not one that I really want to go back to. And it's not as funny as other episodes. So for that reason, I'm going to put it towards the lower end of the ranking. At number 23 is the latest episode, the finale of season 3, the Glep ep, where you see Glep's origin story. Yeah, this was, again, decently funny, but it didn't make me laugh as much as, some later episodes towards the top. They had me doubled over laughing throughout. There were a couple of funny bits. The Rome bit was pretty funny. And then the end bit with the, classic Smiling Friends, realistic dialogue, awkward confrontation, that was pretty funny. I guess I'm also a little concerned with the show getting too Rick and Morty into the lore of it, which I don't think it will. It doesn't seem like the creators of the kind of people who do that. But in season 3, there are a few more nods to the origins of Smiling Friends and this kind of stuff, which is all fine and good for, little gags and little bits of the story. But in terms of actually getting the lore of characters or how Smiling Friends started or Glep, I'm not very interested in that. It's all, just in service of the fun and the craziness of the show. And so, yeah, this episode is not super serious or anything. But it just, yeah, didn't make me laugh as much as some others. So that's why I'm going to put it number 23. Number 22, another season 3 episode. I will also say, kind of like I said with Silly Samuel, season 3, I've seen seasons 1 and 2, multiple times. So I'm probably going to have a bit of a bias towards them. And especially the newer stuff, it doesn't have as much time to, I haven't rewatched it and not as much time for it to become more of a favorite. So there might be a slight bias against season 3, which is why some of the episodes are further up. Although there are some that are, closer to the top of the list. But yeah, I'm going to go with Pim and Charlie Save Mother Nature for number 22. Of course, this has the rotoscope dap up, which is pretty pretty great. And it's well animated, and there's some excitement and action. And the Mr. Boss and Alan subplot is, it's kind of funny. But I think the main thing is just the main bit where it's like they meet whimsical, magical characters, and then they turn out to kill them or want to kill them, and they're, violent and whatnot. Just a little predictable, just because, like, they've sort of done that in other episodes, and that's sort of been done just in, like, internet humor in general. And so, yeah, it's not, like, as funny as some later episodes. Still a pretty funny episode. Still pretty enjoyable. Number 21, another Season 3 episode, Squim returns. Yeah, again, lots to like here. Funny moments. I just noted here the ice cream man. I just thought that was like a funny character design. Just an ice cream man who's an actual ice cream cone. And the end credits or post credits bit of Alan being chased at the anime convention was pretty funny. Another positive, it has Charlie tripping out from eating some bad kebab, and the crazy animation there and like the rhythm of that scene. It's a really, really well done scene. It's cool to see how far the show has come, where like this is the kind of stuff they can pull off now. I will just say, yeah, again, splitting hairs, just the character of Squim is totally meant to be annoying, but he is just kind of annoying. And so I feel like that's maybe an episode I wouldn't just rewatch for that reason at some point, but still they're funny bits. It's a pretty good episode. This is going to be a very complimentary video, I feel like. Number 20, another Season 3 episode. I don't want to seem like I didn't like Season 3. I thoroughly enjoyed Season 3. It's just Seasons 1 and 2 were so classic. And again, I have seen them, rewatched them more. But the Mr. Frog episode from Season 3, I'm not even going to try to butcher that with my French. Yeah. This one, I feel like, has gotten a lot of love for the Creed Bratton appearance where he plays Mr. Frog's dad, which is great. I mean, he's great. He like fully commits to the bit, and as a result, it's great. I feel like I've seen like sad Mr. Frog edits where it's like people are sort of taking it seriously, like, man, like Smiling Friends put on like an Emmy-winning, writing and performance here, and I mean it's very well done, but like that's sort of, to me, like it's in service of the joke, like. I'm not actually like emotionally connected to Mr. Frog. I just think it's like a funny bit that the crazy Mr. Frog character has this like super intense backstory, and with Creed as his dad and yelling at him and all that. But yeah, so it's well done as part of the joke. I don't think it's like a piece of cinema. It's like it's sort of been just. I think it was meant to be more of that's the joke. Anyway, still Creed is very good. The UFC bit was pretty funny. The photo montage at the end with Mr. Frog was very funny. I think the bug bit, the bug who asked him to restart his Wi-Fi or something, I didn't think that was, one of their, again, it was kind of like a bit of a predictable gag. But yeah, overall, pretty funny episode, I'd say. And does, yeah, it's not as funny because it has that sort of Creed bit in the middle, but that's also kind of part of a bit. It's a pretty good episode. Number 19, I'm going to go back to Season 1. I'm going to say Frowning Friends is probably my least favorite episode of Season 1. This one, I think the only thing that takes away from it for me is just it feels like it has a lot going on. It has like the Frowning Friends, it has the DJ Spit character, and then like the Tooth guy, and then the alien, the Boohoo alien, and the Mr. Boss subplot with like, I think he's talking like Ronald Reagan or something. Like it's like, there's a lot going on in 10 minutes, and I guess it feels a little more cramped than some other episodes that are super crazy and irreverent, but just like, it flows a little better. But still, there's lots of funny bits in it. The Renaissance Men thing is pretty funny. Yeah, it's a pretty fun episode. I just think there's a lot squished into it, I suppose. Number 18, I'm going to go with Mr. President from Season 2, where they help out the president. Definitely a lot of funny bits. The picture on screen that when he does the scream, that's quite funny. I just think the president character himself is so gross and unappealing, which again, obviously 100% the point, but a little bit like Squim, I guess, just makes it like one I don't really want to rewatch just because he's like so viscerally unappealing, but still a pretty funny episode. That's basically all I have to say about that. Number 17, I'm going Season 2, Alan Adventure. Again, I don't want to like repeat myself, but lots of funny bits here. Like this picture, the bit in the store, and the guy with the who sells the whatever. He has the nose that is shaped like whatnot. If you've seen the episode, you know what I'm talking about. That stuff's pretty funny. I also, as with a lot of these episodes, I appreciate the difference in animation styles, or the incorporation of different animation styles. In this one, I think there's like the pirates, the video game-ish pirates, I guess, and that's, that's fun. The mini boss bit, when he gives him a little version of himself, the boss, Mr. Boss gives him a little version of himself, that's pretty funny. I just think it's a very, like, action-focused episode. It's one of those more, like, look what we can do with these, like, fun action scenes, which is enjoyable and fun. I guess I just prefer the episodes that are more comedic and less, like, action-y, and that's why I'd put this further up, but still, great episode. Number 16, the Boss Finds Love from season 2. Yeah, the only reason this is a great episode. The only reason this is far down is just because they went really hard on the jump scares here, which again, totally intentional, and like it's kind of part of the bit. Like at one point, Alan gets scared and he acknowledges that, he knew that was going to happen and everything. They used to do that a lot more, I feel like, the jump scares, because obviously they have the Halloween episodes, but I feel like they would also just put random jump scares in episodes, which I didn't love. I didn't appreciate that just because I'm not a big jump scare enjoyer. It's kind of funny, but like it's not, I don't know, it's not my favorite bit that they do. And so there's a lot of that here. So it's obviously intentional. It's just, I guess, like a personal preference, but still tons of funny moments. There's a giant hole in the roof, the giant eye, the bit where they look at the camera from, the first slide. That's like one of my favorite jokes in the whole show that makes me laugh every time. Also, there is a Nostalgia Critic cameo in this episode, so I feel like that's definitely got to count for something. So yeah, very fun episode, just a ton of jump scares that I will skip over on rewatches, I guess, because I'm a big bitch. Speaking of which, kind of, not really jump scare related, but Halloween related, I have The Curse of the Green Halloween Witch from season 3 at number 15. This is, there's less egregious jump scares, I guess, which I just personally appreciate. It's a little bit like the Alan Adventure one. It's more, action focused. It's more focused on the horror movie kind of thing that they make. It's less comedic, but it's, that's intentional. And I appreciate, again, like with Charlie tripping on the kebab or whatever, just what they can do with the show. The animation's very impressive. I also, at the start, they have like a claymation bit incorporating other animation, like in a movie they're watching. I think that's cool. And it still has some funny bits. Alan as the insect or whatever, that was kind of a funny moment. Yeah. More of like an action animation focused one, but a very impressive episode nonetheless. Number 14, I'm going to go with The Enchanted Forest from season 1. This is another kind of splitting hairs of just like personal thing where it's not totally for me. Like, I think it's a very funny episode. The stuff with the witch is quite funny. And the reveal at the end where the companion hobbit guy was like a crazy demon or something the whole time. That's pretty fun. I just think I'm not like super into the Lord of the Rings fantasy stuff that it's more parodying, I guess it's supposed to be like that Hobbit, like a rotoscoped Hobbit. I don't know if it's rotoscope. I don't really know much about like animation, but like that old Hobbit movie, that's what he's supposed to look like, or some like fantasy video game thing. I don't really know. I'm not huge into the thing that it's clearly like paying homage to or parodying. Still a very funny episode though. Just like a personal thing, I guess. I gotta rank them somehow, you know what I mean? Number 13, I'm going to put The Smiling Friends Go to Brazil. I guess this isn't an episode, this is a special apparently or something, but I'm still going to include it here. It's just like it's like a one joke episode, but it's, I think it's a very funny joke, and Smiling Friends is famous for doing this realistic dialogue, realistic scenarios with these wacky characters, and this is like just a full episode of that where you think they're going to go to Brazil and have a crazy adventure, and then they're stuck in the airport. It's just a very funny bit. Like, I just think it pulls it off perfectly, and, that like the anticlimax is the humor. It's a funny episode. There's not much more to say about it than that. I enjoyed it. Number 12, I'm going to go with Brother's Egg from season 2. This is one where like I think the funnier bits overtake some bits that I don't think are like as funny, like the whole, or as interesting, like the rotoscoped brother story and the jokes there and the fight and all that. I think it's okay. It's not like my favorite bit of the episode, but there's just bits that are just very funny, like the restaurant bit where he grabs the waitress and, Dr. Psychotic or Professor Psychotic. That bit is very funny. The Jared Fogle joke at the start is is really funny as well. Yeah, at the end when Charlie says like the world they live in stresses them out. Just a very funny episode. Again, the whole brother thing. If I'm like rewatching it, I might skip past that just because I don't think it's like terribly hilarious or interesting. But the funnier parts of the episode definitely elevated to be a top 12 episode in my opinion. Number 11, I'm going to go with season 2, episode 8. Pym finally turns green, where they build a snowman and he comes to life. They just do like, you can picture, if you've watched the show, Sentient Snowman in the Smiling Friends universe, like you can imagine what kind of gags they do with that. And they just do that like really well, like the boss pulling out a gun when he sees the snowman, and the snowman discovering what death is and, screaming, and, it's just funny bits. And the rocket boots thing with Alan, all the natural dialogue there, that's fun. I love the Yeti bit, the animation on like his fingers specifically when he's talking to the guys. I think that bit's funny. And yeah, at the end when the snowman gets absorbed into the ocean and they can't figure out what is he, the ocean, is he the earth, all this stuff. Like I I don't want this video just to be me like just reciting jokes that I like from the show, but it's just like a really funny show. And in ranking the episodes, this is the ones where I remember the jokes specifically, those stand out towards the top. So just a hilarious episode. I really enjoyed it. At number 10, I'm going to go with A Silly Halloween Special. Now this one is also full of, egregious jump scares, of course, intentionally, but the funny bits make it worth it. And also it is like an impressive, kind of horror short, I guess, in ways. Like the demon animation, I guess it's claymation, I don't know exactly, but like that's a very cool, or stop motion or something. It's not claymation, it's like stop motion. I don't know, but that it looks very impressive, and there are some, genuinely pretty tense, frightening moments in it. And yeah, there's just funny bits like the the one on the screen where the boss says you'll get lost, and at the end the blackface bit where they think the demon is doing blackface and beat him up. That's also a classic Smiling Friends moment. So yeah, funny episode, and also just impressively made. Number 9, I'm gonna go with Mole Man from season 3. See, there are some season 3 episodes in the top 10. I didn't dislike season 3 at all. This just felt like classic Smiling Friends. I really appreciated how many great bits there are in it. When Charlie looks at the picture of himself and it's like, is that what I look like? I thought that was hilarious. I think whoever's voicing the Mole Man does a great job, and the whole penis bit is very fun. There's a moment where like he moves his hands back and forth or whatever. I thought that was really funny. And also there's some, fun commentary on the Smiling Friends like fan base or people who watch the show, where he's like trying to make them recreate the natural sounding dialogue, which there are all those like YouTube compilations of. That was pretty fun. The Alan and Glep side plot is also funny. There's a visual gag where Glep is being like filled up with a hose or something. He's like inflated with water. I thought that was really funny. The final line from Alan about the delicious penis, also great. I don't want to just describe these as funny, but it's just a classic, very funny episode. So yeah, I laughed a lot watching it. I'd put it pretty high. Number 8, I'm going to go with the second episode, Mr. Frog. My only note that I wrote for this is just cut off scream jokes, which the episode does a lot, where it's just someone screams and it cuts abruptly. And, you could say they sort of just rehash the same joke a lot this episode, but it's just funny every time. Like, it made me laugh every single time. I think this might be one of the funniest episodes. Like, it makes me laugh. All the cut off scream jokes make me laugh, and just the Mr. Frog show bit is funny, and just a hilarious episode. I don't know what you want from me. And it sort of created some iconic Smiling Friends stuff like Mr. Frog. Number 7, I'm going to go with Charlie, Pym, and Bill versus the Alien. I don't know if this is a controversial take. I feel like I don't hear people talking about this as like a favorite episode that much, but this one just really worked for me. The whole gag of, like thinking some people think the UFO is real and Charlie doesn't, and then the UFO shows up and kidnaps them. That's pretty fun. And this is honestly mostly here just for the ending gag, where they discover that the Earth is in fact flat, and react how you would like react in that situation. That is just one of the funniest bits in the whole show. I love that. And I also just think like this space party setting is like a fun, I know there's like a montage of them partying in space and doing like space drugs and whatever, and just like a funny, fun bit, I guess. Great descriptives, but it's a fun episode. And also I'm pretty sure the Red Letter Media guys are in this as the aliens. I'm pretty sure I saw that somewhere, so more points for those guys being in it. Number 6, the highest rated season 3 episode for me. I'm going to go with the Schmaloogles. Just a hilarious episode, a classic Smiling Friends episode, and one where it did like you can expect, sort of with them versus Mother Nature, whatever. You sort of think you know what it's going to be. Like, okay, they go to a fun kids movie world, and it's going to be, not what you expect. But it does it in a way that's not predictable and still very funny. I love the way they parody the Smurfs, and also a little bit like Dr. Seuss as well, with that like machine and all that. The training montage with the rotoscoped Schmaloogles is hilarious. Hardest I laughed through all of season 3. The balding gag, the reveal, spoilers, that the wizard is kidnapping the Schmaloogles because he's balding and he's trying to fix that. Hilarious, and also, it's the classic, like, realistic, relatable conversation, Smiling Friends dialogue thing. But yeah, it's very funny. Also, someone who's 100% going to be bald at some point in the future. Just to add an extra layer of humor to it. Just really, really funny. And the bit at the end outside the Wawa with that like awkward confrontation, realistic dialogue. Just, again, very funny. So that was my favorite episode of season 3, Schmaloogles. Number 5, I'm going to go with Who Violently Murdered Simon S. Salty from season 1. Some classic Smiling Friends moments in this, when he says, "None of you were leaving until we solve it," and it's his face looks that certain way. That's very funny. This scene with the picture on screen, also super funny. Yeah, it just does this like murder mystery parody perfectly with all these, insane characters. Hilarious episode. I'd say top 5 personally. Number 4, I'm going to say Shrimp's Odyssey from season 1, season 1, episode 3. Again, there's more cut-off scream jokes where someone screams and it cuts, but just hilarious every time. I guess that's just like my sense of humor. I really enjoy that. It has maybe the most iconic moment of the show when the shrimp puts on the trench coat. I also love his voice acting, just the shrimp's voice. I just think I don't know what they're, guest voice actors or whoever it is they get for these various roles, also with like the Mole Man, whatever. They just do a great job of getting talented voice actors who fit the characters and make the episodes extra funny. Also the Smormoo gag, I thought that was quite funny. So yeah, it's a classic episode. It's one of the most iconic. It's gonna be in the top 4. Number 3, I'm gonna go with the Gwimbly episode, the season 2 premiere. I just think this is a hilarious and also really well done episode, and again shows the kind of leveling up of Smiling Friends as it goes. Like, I think the whole video game animation and mechanics and the jokes about, this video game character and doing his catchphrase and his dance and all that, just really funny, but also, again, it looks fucking great, the way he interacts with the environment, even being animated different. I just think it's really impressive. And the subplot with Charlie and the guy who rips his nose off is, like, as funny as the main subplot. Both plots are hilarious. Yeah, just the fentanyl problem joke is also funny. And at the end, the boss, freaking out, again, one of the most iconic moments. Just a lot crammed into 10 minutes. That makes it a great watch. So I'd put it number 3. Number 2, my second favorite episode, Charlie Dies and Doesn't Come Back, where it's the season 1 Christmas episode. Might be the season 1 finale as well, where Charlie dies and goes to hell. The gag with, the one on screen, the little devil, and this thing that annoys Charlie. Again, one of the funniest in the show. Just every gag as Charlie moves through the episode, just every gag is funny. With his grandma, when he confronts Satan and he's getting DoorDash and all that. This might be Gilbert Gottfried's last performance. I don't know that for a fact, but I feel like I saw that somewhere. But yeah, Gilbert Gottfried voices God in this. So rest in peace, Gilbert Gottfried. That's great. And yeah, it has like kind of a nice message. Obviously, it, subverts it in that Smiling Friends way at the end. But, it has like a wholesome-ish Christmas message of they fight and then he comes back and they're friends. And again, the ending is like a subversion of that in a funny way. But yeah, I just remember it being like a nice and very funny episode. And then finally, number 1, I'm going to say season 1, episode 1, the premiere, the pilot, Desmond's Big Day Out, is the best episode of Smiling Friends. I think it is probably the funniest episode still. Still makes me laugh. All the jokes, all the timing. It's just a, hilarious episode. It's the perfect introduction to the show as well. Like sometimes, I don't know, like with a BoJack Horseman, for example, I'll be like, man, it's an amazing show. You just got to get through like the first few episodes. They're not great. This, like, it's just awesome when you can show someone the pilot of a show, and it's it'll get them into it, and it's also like a perfect encapsulation of like what the show is. Because obviously the show has evolved, as I've talked about, and you can do crazier stuff now, but it's still, this has at its core that sense of humor that the show is all about. Yeah, the reveal of Desmond initially, Pym's family, the guy in the wall. There's just so many hilarious jokes throughout it. It has Mike Stacklasa from Red Letter Media as Desmond. That's also great. Yeah, just a classic episode. Perfect way to start the show. I would say it's still the best episode for me personally. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Smiling Friends, or that's my ranking of the Smiling Friends episodes. Do you agree or disagree with my ranking? What would your ranking look like? What's your favorite episode? What's your least favorite episode? Let me know down below. Overall, I really enjoyed season 3. It was fun. Yeah. So yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. You can subscribe, hit the like button. I was going to say bell button. I guess you can also do that. Is that still a thing? You can hit the like button as well. You can find my main channel, BHL Hudson, my podcast, the Poorly Planned Podcast, Instagram, BHL_Hudson, Letterboxd, real BHL Hudson. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.